Hi, my name's Alana Stone and I'm a voice professional and I'm also a teacher, and I just want to share what I've discovered is a really effective warm-up for me and for my students. So it involves a bit of yoga and a bit of breathing and also some voice use, and we bring it in very gradually, so we're not demanding too much of the voice straight away, but it's a good thing to do in the morning or anytime. So we start with our fingers interlaced and just a very balanced posture, equal weight on both feet. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and allow our chest and stomach to expand. So breathing in. And then we're going to breathe out to a and I want a full exhalation of breath. And as you do it, it's nice to feel yourself just grow taller, feel your spine stretch up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to breathe in again and keep our shoulders down, but see if you can grow even taller, stretch your spine out even more. Breathing in and great. So this one, we're going to connect the palms at the back, interlace the fingers, and I have a bit of trouble keeping my palms together. If you can, that's great. Straighten the arms, breathing in, so we're stretching out the chest, but keep breathing as deep as possible, opening up the bottom of the ribs. And we're going to do a Now just letting your hands dangle towards the floor, making sure your neck is nice and loose. Your knees can be a little bit bent if they need to be. And we're just going to roll up very slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Breathing in as we come up, so slowly inflating. And as you come up, just check that your knees are over your feet, your hips are over your knees, your shoulders are over your hips, and your head is just floating on top. So you're just checking that your posture is all aligned. And now we're going to do a diaphragm bounce. So this is just a great way to get the blood and the focus to your diaphragm. It's kind of like doing sit-ups really, but using the breath. So we're going to interlace the fingers again, and this is going to act like our faux diaphragm. So as we breathe in, the diaphragm drops down, and then we let the air out in small increments. So we go to an F, so that's all one exhalation. We're not breathing in and out and in and out, we're just letting it out in one long breath, but with a so breathing in again, dropping your tummy out over your hands there and doing a great. Okay, so now we're going to release any tension in the shoulders and the neck and the jaw. And to do that, we're actually going to create tension. So we're going to breathe in and clench around the shoulders and neck. And then we're going to breathe out. Pretty basic idea. We're going to do that again. Increase the tension and then release. So now we're just going to let our arms flop out to the sides. And we're just stretching out our intercostal muscles, which are the ones that stretch around your rib cage. So as we do this, we want to just check that your neck and your arms and your hips are feeling nice and loose. And while we're distracted physically, we're going to start doing our vocal warm-ups. So we're just going to start with a gentle hum, and we're going to ascend. So we're going to go, just like, someone said something quite interesting. And then we're going to go down with a as though you agree with what they've said. And now we're going to do the same thing, but we're chewing. So we're going to go so making sure the jaw's nice and loose. And now we're going to say yes. So say that. And then no. We're bringing in the whole range of the voice. We're going to say, really? You don't say. That's amazing. And I like to get my students to say, Mom, don't, to bring a little bit of twang into the voice. And then we're going to use the head voice. So we're bringing the head voice in now. I like to start up high and bring the range down, because when we work up from lower to higher, people kind of get that stress of going up into the higher realms of their voice that they're not used to going into. Whereas if we start up high and come down, we're actually going to a more relaxed psychological space. And we're also bringing our head voice down, and I want you to stay in your head voice for as long as possible. If you don't know what I mean, basically it just means that we're vibrating the head or using the head resonance. There's no real difference between head and chest voice, but we won't get into that right now. That's a whole other conversation. So here we go. We're just going to do a coo-ee! And you can do that in whatever your range is. You don't have to do it in exactly that key. That might be a good key for women with a higher voice. Men might need to start a little lower, but this is the right key for me, so I'm going to start here. I want you to make that as resonant as possible, as though you're projecting over a valley to another mountain. So we're going to go coo-ee! And make sure your tummy is involved. There should be a little diaphragm bounce happening there. So I'm starting on a high C to an even higher G above middle C. And we're just going to rise and fall in a glissando. So we're going to go coo-ee. That's the first step. And now we add a level of difficulty by going up the major scale. So coo-ee. Cool. And now we're going to, just using our intonation, we're just going to change lower the third and make that minor. So we're going to go coo-ee. Great. And now we're going to do it staccato. So staccato just means small and bouncy, I guess. So we're going to go coo-ee. Try that. Cool. So basically, we're just going to keep doing that as we come down through the range. So I'm going to take you all the way down. I'll probably take you a full octave, just so that you can do this at home. If you don't play the piano, you can just do this along with me. So B to F sharp. Coo-ee, coo-ee, minor. Coo-ee, staccato. B flat to F. Coo-ee, coo-ee, minor. Coo-ee, staccato. Coo-ee, coo-ee, coo-ee. So we're in A flat to E flat. Coo-ee, 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 So try, even if you are starting to get into your passaggio or your more chest voice, i.e. the voice you use to speak, try and still stay a little above that voice. So we're still going to stay in our head voice for as long as possible. Coo-ee, 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 coo-ee. Just 4 more. Last one. Cool. Great. So we should be partially warm by now, but just to get the full range and a little bit more sort of fast moving flow into our exercises, we're going to do an arpeggio, or 2 arpeggios actually. An arpeggio is just a chord that's broken up into individual notes. So starting on an A, we're going to go 2 octaves up on an A major arpeggio, and now we're going to come down on an E7 or an E dominant 7 arpeggio. So those notes are A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, and then D, B, G sharp, E, D, B, A. So I'm just going to play this for you. I'd love it if we could do that sound, because that makes it easier to close your vocal cords when you have some pressure at the front of your mouth. And on the way up, we're going to do that up and down. And then the second half of this exercise is in a minor key, and we're going to do that to an E vowel. So that's going to go E. So the first half is that's the full thing. We're going to try and do it in one breath. If you can't, that's okay. Have a breath. And we're just going to think of it as one long exhalation out. So don't think too much about climbing the hill. Just think about a long exhalation and a big sigh going up and coming down. So here we go. Last one. So we end with the most rigorous exercise and we start with the easiest one. Yeah, I think basically if you can do all that, you'll be pretty warm to sing whatever you like, but if you have some additions, now's the time to do them. Thanks for having me. I'm Alana Stone, and those are my vocal warm-up exercises for 2020.